What is up, my viewers? Welcome to Bubba's Hub. So for this video, I kind of want to do something a little different for those of you who are new to the channel, of course. So let me tell you how this all started out, first of all, for my channel. I like to watch a lot of YouTube on when I'm down, like just chilling, whatever. I like to watch a lot of YouTube, just random videos. And I like to follow other YouTubers. I like to see their content, whether it's content about weapons, content about comedy, whatever their content may be. I like to watch their channel, see how they started out, and see how they've grown over the years, or, just like that, like influencers, if you will, so they can inspire me to do better. Now, first of all, I gotta explain how this all first started out. So I want to say 2019, 2020, my wife, she introduced me to a show on Netflix called Marlon. And, in my opinion, I think that was a good show. Unfortunately, it only went 2 seasons. I don't know why they canceled it, whether it's contracts, money, harassment, I don't know. I don't work for them, so it's all speculations. But unfortunately, the show ended. But the point of this is, on the show Marlon, for those of you who have never seen it, you might see a couple of clips on it on YouTube. If you just type in Marlon, he's a YouTuber for that show. And his ex-wife and his 2 kids and his friend and her friend, they're the main attraction of that show. They're the main cast of that show. And he always started out the show for his, basically it shows his YouTube channel. Obviously, it's for the show. I'm pretty sure. I don't think he's a real YouTuber, but for the show, he introduced the show like that. He'll say, welcome to the Marlon's Way. That's how he's introduced the show. So I always wanted to do something like that. Like it's 2019, 2020, like I said, and my wife was like, you should do something like that or whatever. She, at the time, she actually had a YouTube channel. It wasn't big. It was kind of small. She would just post maybe 1 or 2 videos of the same stuff that she would post on TikTok. And so I was like, you know what? That is a good idea. Let me go ahead and give that a try. So 2 things actually, well, Marlon from the show Netflix is what also inspired me to become a YouTuber. And my wife, she's like, why don't you give it a try? Maybe you could do it as a hobby or whatever. And I was like, you're right. Maybe one day I could be a big YouTuber. Like you see these other YouTubers who have like 5 million followers or 20 million followers, or even some other YouTubers who only have like 100,000 followers. So I'm like, you know what? That is a good idea. Let me go and do my very first video. And I don't have the video anymore. I wish I did. I could upload it. Obviously, it was a trial. So my very first video, I remember it was a 30-minute video, and it was a trial video. And I remember the stupid stuff I was doing in it. I was over here saying like, hey, this video is sponsored by Pepsi, which it really wasn't. I was just trying to be funny, So obviously, I think midway through the video, I was just trying to be funny again. So I took a box of, for those of you who if still with me since the beginning, and you remember this, I had a big old box of Cheerios, and I was talking, and I just pretty much poured a lot of it in my mouth, and I just spit it all out because I almost choked on it. But I remember this brief pause where I'm like, okay, in my head, the video's still going on, and I'm like, damn, this video's still going on, but my mouth is full of Cheerios, so I'm literally just staring at the camera like, just chewing. So I'm like, okay, so that was a trial video. So as I said, I did a bunch of other dumb stuff. I talked about a few weapons, stuff like that. But it was like I said, it was a 30-minute video. And I did send that to a few people, when I first posted it. And it was honestly the first time I posted it. It was really exciting when I did search myself on YouTube. And it was really exciting to see my channel on YouTube. So I was like, oh, wow, this is freaking awesome. Now at the time, though, I had zero subscribers. But honestly, it makes sense because you're brand new. Nobody's heard of you. But first, before I posted my video, I had to think of a name. So at the time, I had a channel. It originally was called Bubba's Way because I was mimicking Marlon from the show Netflix. I was saying, welcome to Bubba's Way. So after I searched, apparently there was another person. I don't know if that person still has a channel or not, but he too had a channel called Bubba's Way. I think his was about, I can't remember. I think it was like a 17-year-old kid or something like that. I can't recall. But he already had the name Bubba's Way. So I didn't want to copycat another YouTuber's name, let alone a logo if I were ever to come up with one. So what I did was I was like, okay, so obviously the video was a trial. Now the name is the second trial. So all I had at the time was that one video. And it, in my opinion, the feedback I got from the people, which was obviously your video is too long, you know. And being that you're a beginner, you need to gain an audience first before you start doing these long videos. So that was the first thing I learned from my trial experience was, okay, let's go ahead and squeeze that 30-minute video into maybe 15 or less, you know. So I went ahead and did that. Now the thing, I was like, okay, so I had my family over and we were all eating dinner and I had this dilemma. I'm like, okay, I want a name. So they all were pitching their ideas that involved Bubba in it. So my brother, the oldest of my siblings, he was being funny. And he's like, why don't you be like, making something about, something about sexual shit. Like, what's a sexual name out there? So, like, for example, Pornhub. I was like, I'm not putting no damn porn name on my damn channel. So we was like, no, but take out the porn and add the Bubba. So original name was Bubba Hub. But I'm like, that doesn't really flow though. But I was like, how about this though? Let's add an S. So like originally Bubba's Way, but let's take out the way and push in the hub. Bubba's Hub. And that's when the name came about. So I was like, okay, I actually like that. So I looked it up before it even became my name. I was like, let me look this up. Let me see if there's another person out there with Bubba's Hub. And nothing came up. All I saw was Hubba Hubbas or Bubba's Way or everything except Bubba's Hub. So I immediately was like, let me immediately claim that title as mine. So I went ahead and locked that in as my name. So that became my name for every video I did after that. You know, but still was the dilemma. Okay, I have no subscribers. And I started to do more videos. Now these videos I was doing, none of them exist anymore. I had a fallout. And the fallout was in 2021, I believe, 2021, 2022. I had a fallout. At that time, I did have about a lot of videos. So I was gaining some recognition. Not a lot, but I was gaining some recognition. And I was like, you know what? During that fallout, I was like, I need to step back. I need to take a break. Maybe being a YouTuber was a lot harder than I thought. I thought it was going to be really easy. So at the time, I had maybe 10 followers, if that. And I already had like probably 30 videos. All of them were different times, different topics. I was like, you know what? So my wife, she's like, let me show you this one girl. I cannot remember who this girl is, but she's a YouTuber and she also has a TikTok. And she showed me the video. Her video was probably it was an educational video. And she became really rich off of TikTok and from YouTube. And I watched the video and it explains, okay, first of all, the girl, I remember the one thing she said, you need a category, something that people are going to want to watch. So I was like, okay, because she explained, if you have categories all over the place, because you're trying to reach all these different people, you're kind of grasping for straws now. You know, maybe one or two might bite, but then otherwise people are going to just skip right past you. So I took that into consideration. So I was like, okay, I can't do all these different kind of contents. I have to pick one. So at the time, I picked only weapons. And at the time, I didn't have a lot of weapons. So now I'm like, shit. How many guns did I have when I first started doing that? I think I had, so I know I had at least maybe 3, maybe 4. No, I had this, I had a shotgun, and another pistol. And then, of course, I had my wife's pistol, which I put in one of my videos, which you could clearly tell that it's my wife's pistol, not mine, because mine looked professional. Hers was a freaking blue pistol. I'm like, I'm not going to be rocking no damn blue pistol, but I'm going to have it in my channel anyway. So what I tried to do for that channel at the time was a weapons comedy. And I'm like, okay, so that it didn't really work out. And I think this is probably why I had the fallout. because at the time I was doing weapons comedy safely, of course. I had about 30 videos or so, and like I said, maybe 10 or 20, 10 or 20 subscribers. And mind you, this has gone on for almost a year. So I'm like, man, it was really hard. Like I was struggling to get some subscribers. So I said, you know what? Let me take a step back. So I did. I didn't post a video for the longest time. I deleted all those old videos because I didn't want them to, what's the word? I don't want them to look, I don't want those videos to look bad on me for future videos. Like, oh, this is what you started out with. But now that I watched the video last night, and I'm sure you all know the person, Mr. Beast, and I watch his videos when it comes to growing your channel. And the video I watched last night was him looking back at himself 10 years ago. And it's a video of him 10 years ago with his very first video of becoming a YouTuber. So the video, I think he aired in 2015. And obviously it's 10 years later, so we're in 2025. So I was like, you know what? Last night, I was like, it's a badass idea. I would love to do that. So I was like, you know what? Let me do that. Okay. But obviously, I went a little ahead of myself. But yes, I took a long step back, and I realized that doing YouTube was part of my relaxation, if you will. I love doing YouTube. You know, it's really fun. I even did, started it up again in 2023. And my coworkers at the time, I think one or two are probably still watching, and they were mocking me, like, hey, you're not going to be a YouTuber, you're terrible, blah, blah, blah. You only have these many followers, ha, ha, ha. So I didn't want that to discourage me. I'm like, you know what, I don't really care. You're a bunch of two-faced people anyway. I don't care if they see it and they mock me again. So anyway, I was like, you know what, yeah. So I got back into YouTube again. I started doing different stuff. Because although, yes, I do different stuff with weapons, I also like to talk to people. So I was like, you know what? Although that girl on TikTok and said it's best to just focus on one category, hey, this is America. Who says I have to? So my main focus of entertainment is weapons and interviews. So if you've all seen my YouTube channels or my TikTok, I interview people. You know, like I like to do stuff like that. I like to go out and meet people. And although I'm a little restricted, because the wife doesn't like it. She doesn't mind the shooting, but she does not like it when I go out and interview people, and let alone women, you know, and it's interviews. Come on, cut me some slack. But anyway, I took a step back from the interviewing those stuff because one, the places I normally go to, they're under construction. The whole bar district, like their whole street's all torn up because I guess they're redoing the street, whatever. But this video is basically saying to myself, so if you guys have watched in this whole video this whole time, hey, I appreciate y'all. But this is me saying to myself, hey, look, you started this in 2019-20. You took your setback for a year or two. Then you started it up again and grew yourself. And now you want to see what you're going to look like. And let's just give myself a goal, you know, because I do have better stuff I want to do. So right now, you guys can, if you guys were to look at my channel, I have about, so when I first started out, 20 or 30 subscribers. Now I'm at 760 subscribers, which I think is awesome that I went from 20 and thinking it was really hard to put it in work. Now I'm at 760. Now these other YouTubers who are thousands to millions to, hey, they're doing YouTube every freaking day. And one of the things Mr. B said, if you want to freaking grow, video every day. Even if they're not good, video every day. So that's what this really is. It's me giving y'all advice. If you're a beginner YouTuber or if you're already growing, you know, video every day. I'm trying my best to do a video every day. Obviously, I would love to do more shooting videos, but where I'm at location-wise, it is a drive to get there. It's a drive to get ammo. It's a drive to get explosion stuff if I want to do that. And then in the interviews, same thing. I drive to different cities in Arizona. I've done interviews in Phoenix. I've done interviews in Gilbert. I've done interviews in Tempe. I've done a couple interviews in Chandler. I like to go everywhere because I like to meet different crowds. You know, obviously with different crowds, different locations comes different age groups, and that doesn't bother me. And there's other questions I would like to do in interviews, but that's the other thing. So which is one of the reasons why I haven't done an interview in a while. But anyway, back to what I'm saying. So this is me giving myself like, hey, you got this, keep going. You look at what you did when you first started, and now look at where you're at right now. Just keep going, do better videos. You know, I'm hoping that I see myself, and let's just set myself a goal. What are we in? We're in October of 2025. So let's do a video. I will do another video in October of 2028. Let's just say that, 2028. No, wait, 2029. Because originally I started, no, wait. Let's make it 2030 because I technically started doing YouTube in 2020, 2021. Yeah, let's say 2030. 2030, October. I will do another video saying where I'm at now. And hopefully I'm still alive. Hopefully my channel has grown more. Hopefully I've grown more subscribers. Hopefully I've had better content. Hopefully I have better videos, you know, especially interviews. Hopefully I have people on my videos, like as far as cast. I've been trying to do that as well. I'm just really excited because this is me setting a goal for myself. That's another thing for YouTube. If you want to be a YouTuber, you got to set a goal for yourself. Yes, I have more guns now so I can do more cool videos versus what I was when I first started. I had like 2 or 3. Now I have, I'm not going to give you the exact number that's classified, but I have a lot more guns than I did when I first started out so I could do more content. But yes, that is the goal. I hope y'all are still with me in 2030, October. So what's today? October 6th? So October 6th, 2030. Set it in your calendars. I'm going to do another video and see where I've gone. Right now I'm at 760 subscribers. I'm hoping I'm in at least the thousands. Like, I don't know if I'll be in the millions. That's a goal I'm trying to reach. Let's at least get into the thousands. And I'll be very happy with myself and we'll just keep growing. So once again, this is Bubba's Hub. Reached out to y'all, let y'all know what my goals are, how I did my very first video. Unfortunately, I don't have it anymore. Maybe that'll be my future video in 2020. I'll do a remake of my very first video. Yeah, that's probably a good idea, but I'll make it short. I won't make it long. But yeah, we'll see. But yes, thank you once again. Please like, please subscribe, please share, and let's get Bubba's Hub growing even higher and bigger. And hopefully I can be like these other YouTubers one day and have a plaque on my wall saying, oh, this many subscribers subscribe to you. And you know what? I might even do, because let me explain. Because I'm going to end this video soon. When I was almost to my 50th subscriber, I did do a contest. And it was whoever is my 50th subscriber, hit me up. Let me know what your favorite video is. Comment on it, whatever. And I'll gladly send you a gift card to wherever you want of your choice. Stuff like that. So maybe I'll do that in 2030. Or I'll probably do more like that, videos like that. Because I think people love, hey, we all love free gifts, you know. So people who subscribe and like that. So yeah, maybe I'll do more videos like that. Hey, if you all have ideas to help me, I would greatly appreciate it. Like I said, I've had people comment on my videos, and I've taken those comments into consideration. And I think a few of them I have done. Like somebody in my very first video, your video's too long, so I shortened it up. Others say, hey, no dead air or silence, which was me chewing on that. So I stopped doing that. But yes, I'm going to go ahead, and like I did promise you all, I'm going to do more videos, more shooting stuff. And I already have this ready for today's video later. So I'll be posting that as well. So I hope you all check this one out. And check out the one I got posted, I'm going to post later on, which is going to be pew, 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 boom. Stuff like that. But hey, once again, Bubba's Hub, like, subscribe, and share. And let's get Bubba's Hub growing. I love y'all. And I hope y'all freaking having an awesome time out there. Peace.